It's your guys' call, because I can't do it alone. Is Ash not coming? Oh, I didn't even see her. Oh my god. Andre's like fucking the door, dude. Andre, where you go? Yeah, you gonna make it, or do I cancel? I'll hold the door. He might make it. Look, he's gonna make it. He jumped. He headbutted the fucking door and left the game back. That's what he did. He put his fucking skull in the door. Look, all I'm saying, guys, all I'm saying is when I watch animes, right? And it just so happens like there's like a sexual arousal or something in it because of big boobies or whatever. Um that kind of stuff is kind of like nice. Where a lot of these shows when they like kind of ship for it, it's just kind of like ugh, you know? I'm going to wait till over here 382. What the hell? Goku Black. Hold on. I want my damage to actually come out. Probably right here. So when I see like an isekai or whatever the fuck, and the girls are already in, or any of this shit, right? The girls are already in fucking bathing suits, right? They're already in them. They're already making the noises. It's kind of like, ugh. That's a lot of cringy stuff coming up. Not really excited for that. But I am excited for him. He's not as fish out of water this season, because this is the second season. So that's probably why they're using eye candy to keep you there. Because I don't remember them being that sexualized in the first season. Like there's the girl the one girl, I forget her name, but the one with the big titties that worked at the shop, she was, but they're like, she's dim-witted. That's like her thing, but it looks like there's a lot more sexualized girls. I'm, I mean, I'm with you. I'm with you on that. Yeah, I'm with you on that. That's what I'm looking forward to, but I'm saying that from the looks of it, I feel like there is going to be kind of a more focus on if those two are dating. It may not take all of the source material so that it can actually sell and be the anime of the like week or whatever. Because motherfuckers are gonna be looking and waiting to see if like if even a titty bounces so they can jerk off to it. Don't get me wrong, One Piece does it too. Like, I'm not gonna act like Naruto, One Piece, Dragon Ball, all those anime don't have that. But when I see like a new anime doing it, and that's like in the trailer, it's kind of like, look, guys, look at it like this, right? Just look at it like this, okay? Let's say Dragon Ball or Naruto or One Piece had a trailer, right, to their new season or whatever, right? I don't think. Look, I don't think there'd be like a dedicated minute to just like fan service. I genuinely think that if there was a titty shake or something, it'd be maybe for like a half a second or something. But at this point, Bulma's too old, right? There's no female leads now. Nami and Robin probably, but One Piece doesn't get those shows. But Naruto definitely not. Road to Boruto, everything, no. So that's my issue with a lot of those animes. It kind of feels like you're really there for the main lead character, right? Who's a male and who's cool and relatable and stuff too. And then like another half of the reason that you're there is because there's a couple girls there that kind of satisfy your kink, and you're watching these animes alone in your room, and you're like jerking off for like half the episode, and it's just kind of like, that's not what I go to anime for. I go to anime to experience like a story or a tale, in fiction, and I like, I feel like if superpowers in like Marvel and DC. Wait, but hold on. I feel like in superpowers in Marvel DC, it's slapped on like a latex suit and stuff like that. I know, but some people like the what is it called? The foreplay kind of, like how the it's not straight there, like they're just not already nude, you know? That they're being led into a situation that is as close to the sun as possible. They kind of like that. And then once they're all revved up, then they go on the site that you're talking about. Then it's kind of like party time. But they can't just go straight from nothing, they have a boner, to naked. They need that like little like anime that have like a jiggle here or there in casual conversation for them to even get their meat to move anymore. Because they're probably suffering from like erectile dysfunction or something. Yeah. I mean, he probably has kryptonite at the ready because Batman's always prepared for like fights against his comrades. So I would agree with you. Like, I don't want to say that prep time Superman isn't prepared. I just think Batman has like a thing in case any of his teammates go rogue. Like, I just think he already has that failsafe ready. Like, with no, like, they're about to fight. It'd be like if one started, he'd have it. That's how I feel about Batman versus Superman. Anyway, though, what I was trying to say, though, is it feels like I go to anime, right? Because it's fiction, right? It's fiction with superpowers in it, with very sad, tragic backstories. And it doesn't necessarily mean to be, like, Japanese-esque or whatever. But it kind of seems like with those stories, things are a little bit more grounded. Where I feel like DC Comics are a little bit too Western. Because they either go gangster 1960s or they go so modern that everything looks a little too futuristic. And I'm not saying animes don't have that, but it kind of seems like with animes you can kind of stick the characters in any sort of like time period and it works. Like even Demon Slayer, I think that blew ass. You could throw them into the woods and do this demon story to where it's kind of like fictionally believable. Like they can get away with demons and stuff more, where it feels like a lot of DC or Marvel, it takes a lot more time. Like it's got too much suburbs and metropolises in it. Like they're kind of scared to go like our world if it was a little bit more ancient. Like it just doesn't feel like they can kind of do that with superpowers and stuff like that. And if they do, it's taxed on to the greater multiverse, which just makes all these like grounded areas just not work. It just doesn't feel like they can start from scratch anymore. So when an anime comes out, right, and it's focused on the titties, and there's like maybe like a quarter of the runtime is dedicated to this person's plot, but most of it is getting sidetracked for horniness. It's kind of like if I wanted to get sidetracked by most of it and then have like one or two clever things happening, I would just stay in DC with the superpowers and whatnot and just take in all that lore. But I don't, because I don't like superpower. Like, maybe when I was like 10 years old, superhero movies weren't that bad. That story where they randomly are gifted powers, it's like I wouldn't say a fish out of water, but it's kind of like a situation where they're not used to having them, they get used to having them, and then they get the responsibility of having them, right? With turmoils and decisions and stuff. But now it's kind of like, anime is like, at least with me, with the shonen ones I look at, you start with somebody that has like something that can get them by in the earlier sections, and then the growth of what the character can do, like with the powers onward, is kind of interesting, which is why I don't like Fairy Tail or any of that, like, because it's kind of like, I don't know. I feel like Luffy's power, I haven't seen like the manga, but I feel like Luffy's power is like kind of cracked, and it's going to be even crazier when I finally get to see what rubber fruit can do later on. With Goku, it's the limit breaks. We got all the way up to Ultra Instinct. And then Naruto, we go all the way to Sage of Six Paths. If Naruto stuck with just clones and Rasengan all throughout the series, because that's his only superpowers, it would be boring. And I know sometimes the superhero movies break the mold or whatever, but it just kind of seems like... like, Batman's cool, right? This Justice League is cool, but how many times are we going to hear, like, Flash's fucking story? How many times are we going to hear Batman's story? How many times are we going to hear Superman's story? Why are people complaining about One Piece's story taking forever, because it's a long story, when we've been hearing the same small tales with all these other stories over and over? How many horny isekais do we have to see before we get the premise? How many DC comic movies are we gonna get before we're like, okay, random guy gets into live accident, now he's got the strongest thing in his own realm and he's going up against the creator of all things or whatever? Like, how many times are we gonna see that story happen? Like, it's just kind of like whatever to me. So I'm not criticizing Part-Timer. I'm just saying, from the trailer, it looks like they added like a lot more animation here, okay, for the ladies. And there was only one busty chick in that show. In fact, there was a joke with the girl that was like harping on the devil that she doesn't have a lot going on. Nice. Well, you guys made that easy.